Welcome back. Okay, so let's go ahead and stop and reset and start. Okay, so no, I want to go to there. Transformation orientation. The orientation menu governs how the axes of the manipulator are aligned with the global default global corresponding to the global coordinate system. Other useful options are local, which corresponds to the local coordinate system of each object, and view, which always align to your view. To demonstrate this, click on the camera with the right mouse button or the left mouse button now. That is so that's the only object selected. Set the manipulator to do only translations. Blue arrow button is selected in the menu. And to ensure that the orientation is set to global, drag any of the manipulator's colored arrows with left mouse button to move the camera in the corresponding direction. Okay, so now we have some cool thing here, and okay, so this is like view junk, right? This has nothing to do with the object. Here is the object ones. Now we got transform. Okay, so transform will do everything. You know, move, right? The box scales. Okay. That and these rotate. Go, left and right, rotate it. Ooh, that's all right. Okay, so this is like a all-in-one manipulator here. This is just a deal here. It's just the. Okay, let's move this around a little bit. Now, if you notice, there's these squares here, which lets you move it in these. I guess here. Let's do this like this. Okay, so if you notice, I cannot go in depth, or I mean on the x-axis. Remember, the x-axis is actually left and right, even though we're kind of rotated wrong. In other words, this is left and right. Okay. Anyways, this stops you from moving in that direction. Notice here I can go up, and I can go on the x-axis, and I can go on the z or z axis, but I cannot go on the y-axis. That's when you do those. But when you do the arrows, it does it exactly on the particular axis you're going on. So there's that. Okay, now move the camera. Now switch the orientation to local. Now let's reset. File, new, general. Okay. So, view, user's perspective. Okay, so here's the global versus local coordinate system. So, if I move around the global coordinate system, see that? Now, what if I switch to local? Notice how it's actually going up. Notice how it's kind of weird, right? Huh, interesting. So that's what they're talking about, global versus local. Switch to local, you'll see the manipulator arrows reorient themselves. Notice the Z direction, blue arrow is now in the direction of the camera view. Local coordinates of the camera have the optical axis of the camera running along the Z axis by default that is pointing towards the cube object. The cube by default has its own local Z direction running vertically. With the manipulator orientation still set to local, add the cube to the selection with the shift right mouse button or shift left. Okay. Shift left. You see the object, see the manipulator move so it's the center of the selected objects. Now it's between the camera and the cube. And if you drag the manipulator's Z-axis arrow with the left mouse button, each object will move along its own version of the axis. Ah, see, it's in the middle. So, look at how that goes. Ooh, ooh. Cool. Switch the orientation to global and try dragging the manipulator again. This time both objects appear locked together will move in the same direction along the same global axis. So we switch everything back to global. And now, da-da-da, everything moves. It's supposed to. Okay. So, there's that. Manipulator is not the only way to apply transformation to objects. That can also be done via keyboard shortcuts. Hide the manipulator to reduce clutter. I don't actually... Okay. I get it. Select the cube and only the cube. Now press G to grab. And this is going to be... Anyways, G is always to grab, see? Selection outline around the object turns white as it did when you're dragging around the manipulator. This time you didn't press any mouse buttons. Now move the mouse without pressing any mouse buttons to see the object move along with it. Press the left mouse button or enter to terminate the movement and leave the selected object in the new position. Or escape to cancel the operation and leave it in its original position. And actually I can kind of go Control Z like... Actually let's just do a new here. There. Okay. Similarly, R to rotate and S to scale. So, R, S, G. Okay, you can constrain the movement to particular axes by pressing the appropriate axis key. For example, press G to move the cube again, and let's go ahead and reset everything. New. General. Okay. And press X. G. X. And what happens? You'll see a bright colored line appear in parallel to the global x-axis. Now when you move the mouse, the cube will only move along that colored line. Okay. I see. It did actually get bright. I didn't notice that. So grab. Right? Now if I hit X, it lines up a little bit. You can't really tell it that much, but okay. So you can do that with all three of them. They appear brighter a little bit. Transform orientations. To constrain the transformation to a different set of axes, press the constraint key twice. According to the system used, depends on the selection in the global transformation orientation menu. Local or global. The transformation happens in the object's local coordinate system view. The transformation is aligned to view coordinates. For example, with the default global selection from the menu, select the camera, press G to move it, press Z twice, you'll see the colored line orient itself along the direction of the view of the camera. Let's see if that happens. G. I don't know. Okay, that didn't seem to do anything. The double... Axis constraints also works with scaling and rotation. You can constrain movement and scaling to happen along two axes, but not the third one, by holding down the shift when typing the axis constraint. Which is, okay, so... if I do shift... Okay, so if I do G for grab, and then I do, let's do it with X. Shift X. Now, if you notice, I cannot move it along the x-axis, but I can move it along the other two axes. Okay. And I just did that. Type the constraint twice, G, Shift Z, Shift Z. That doesn't do anything but just turn it on or off, I think. Here's a summary. Grab, rotate, scale instead of move or translate. So, okay. In addition to hotkey sequence, RR enables free rotate. I don't think it has. I think. Oh, it does. I see. This actually does that. Oh, look at that. Oh. So if I hit, so that did work right. This does it, the global. This does it along its local coordinate system. Okay, so that actually did work. How about that? So, good. Transforming by numbers. Sometimes you need to position things accurately. Use calculated numbers instead of estimating by. Blender can do that too. Simply type the number after the transformation hotkeys before pressing enter to confirm the operation. For example, GX1 key enter will move the selection by 1 unit in the positive X direction. So, but let's do it with scale. Okay. Scale. Actually, let's do this real quick, and then let's go back here. Scale. So S. What was that? Oh. S. X. 1. Oop. Alright, escape. Interesting. The minus key, I see. So, let's do this again. Let's do, let's go ahead and just do grab, like it was saying. Grab X. Okay. 1. What? Negative. Huh, interesting. Okay, so rotation works similarly. Degrees. Decimal points are allowed. I don't care that much as far as that goes. And in any case, I guess it's time we are done for this video. So, I guess we didn't make it through the whole way. Maybe we will in the next day. We will see. Okay. Somebody answer my question. Let's go back here. Sorry. I will see you in next day's videos. So take it easy, and thanks for watching.